In this episode, electricity in the ground, a very expensive tank, and an old Saab. Welcome to episode 250 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, I saw a really cool idea the other day.
What's that?
Let's have a chat about it.
Okay.
This is an article that I sent over your way, and the title of it is Electrified Cement Could Turn Houses and Roads into Limitless Batteries.
Well, that sounds interesting and scary at the same time.
It does. But it sounds kind of neat, right? They are a team
of... It sounds too good to be true.
In theory, yeah. I see where you're coming with this, but let me explain how this works, okay? In the best way that I can. This is a team of researchers, so this is only in the research phase. This is not like ready to go into production. You can't just put this in your driveway yet. But this is a team of researchers at a university that mixed basically a small amount of what's called carbon black. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's like a very nanoscale refined version of like charcoal or like pure carbon.
Okay? Interesting.
It's used in like rocket engines and for binders for certain materials.
Okay.
It's pretty common, easy to make, easy to produce, big scale. So they took this carbon black and they put it in with cement powder and they added water. Now, water and cement, water helps cure cement.
It binds it, yeah.
Right. It also makes it so that it can like form into stuff, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But once cement dries out, then yes, you're set. Water will easily combine with cement, but it will not easily combine with carbon black. So what tends to happen is you get the carbon black clumping together and forming long like threads within the concrete or the cement.
Interesting.
So those are equivalent to your wires.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And if you take those wires and you have them in cement and you end up either cutting or sectioning the cement in certain ways, you can actually store energy in this carbon black.
And how would you not get electrocuted by walking on it?
They haven't quite got to that bit yet, but I would imagine either a paint or epoxy coating or something like that to, keep the electricity in. That's a very solvable problem. All wires have a plastic coating around them to stop you getting electrocuted.
Fair.
Same kind of concept, right? In theory, if this was sorted, ready to go to production and like good to go, if this carbon black cement was used to make like a 45 cubic meter volume, which is roughly the amount used in a foundation of a standard home, it could store around 10 kilowatt hours of electricity.
Wow.
Which, if we think about like a Tesla batteries have 80 kilowatt hours, right?
Doesn't do much, does it?
It doesn't do much, but what it would do is it would power your home for about a day.
Okay.
So, if you had a day's worth of energy sitting under your home, it'd be nice when that hurricane hits to have a day's worth of energy sitting there.
It would be.
And it doesn't seem, at least in initial research, like it would structurally change a ton. I'm sure there's some structural changes that happen there. But it's a neat concept, and I hope that it gets pushed forward.
So I guess obviously we don't know this yet, but like how would they get the energy from the carbon black into what you need to use it? And how would you put more energy back into the carbon black?
It's all about how you would lay out the carbon black. In this article, they do have, let me find it real fast. I can't find it. They talk about how they have like an electrolyte substance on one little edge of the carbon black and then the carbon black for the wires and how those can transfer charges between them for charging and discharging. There's ways to do it. It's in theory possible.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could get the energy from the sun?
You could. Yeah.
And then you just have a cycle of
this
energy.
This is not a solar panel. This is a battery.
I know. But if you had a solar panel, a big one.
Could you imagine if the road was built with this stuff?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like if everyone was built with this.
Built different.
Built different. That's going to take a lot.
In theory, yes. If you could take a solar panel, put it on the side of the road, and charge the road or charge the the parking lot when you park your car. If you had like the wireless charging pads, park your car and charge your car. You have a giant battery that is the parking lot, and then you have solar panels off to the side or on top of the building or wherever you can see the sun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I hope one day that this gets used in a meaningful, cool way.
What if the floor was the solar panel and the battery at the same time?
It could, in theory, be.
And then you're just rolling on...
The roadway was the solar panel?
Yeah.
The only worry about that is it would get dirty.
Sure.
It would get very dirty. Roads are very dirty.
What if it rains? What if you do a burnout?
You know that when you have solar panels on your roof, you have to clean them like once a year or something like that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Eventually, dirt and debris and stuff will gather upon it, and you do have to get up there and scrub it down a little bit.
That would suck.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fun job either.
I would rather do that in December in Florida.
Yeah, certainly. I bet you that up north, like snow, probably cleans it off a bit.
Snow can be dirty.
That's true. It can be. That's true. One other cool fact I learned about solar panels the other day is that in the north, since solar panels generally absorb energy, they tend to radiate some heat as well when they do this. Most solar panels will not accumulate snow, but if it does snow hard enough, it will accumulate. But since it's gathering energy or has a little bit of energy in it, is exposing or radiating thermal energy, it will create a thin layer of water over the face of the solar panel, and the whole sheet will just slide off at once. So it's kind of this weird moment where like all this snow comes piling off your roof at once and just instantly.
Quite fun to watch. Yeah, not maybe. Fun to be underneath.
No, I think it would actually be dangerous.
Yeah,
like it would hurt. Yeah, then you got to go plow the driveway and yada, yada, yada.
Yes. Yep. Aren't you glad you live in Florida?
Sometimes, yes. Right now, it's pretty damn hot.
Yeah, I would love to be not here right now.
It's pretty darn hot.
The past 2 months have just been like brutal hot.
Last month was a new record as far as heat goes here in Florida.
Interesting. Well, I have a new record of something that I haven't seen before.
Oh, yeah?
I saw a new vehicle. Well, it's not new, but new to me vehicle. And I don't know if we can hardly even classify this as a car at this point. It is the Rezvani Tank X is my spot of the week.
What?
Rezvani.
I've never heard of this.
I've heard of it from social media and YouTube and stuff like that. It's a thing.
Rezvani.
Yes.
What is? Do they make this car? Or is this what is this?
That's kind of what I said. It is a vehicle.
Do they make it?
Kind of.
Oh. What do you mean by kind of?
I mean, they kind of make it. They kind of don't make it.
Like, is this one of the I bring you X vehicle and they turn it into a Rezvani?
Pretty much, yeah. So it starts life as some sort of a Jeep. And then the Tank X, which is what I saw, has it's got a Hellcat engine in it. So you get like over 500 horsepower. It's very off-road capable. You get Fox suspension. You get horrible-looking Rockstar wheels, which are just awful. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It is XS.
What does it start as?
A GP thing.
Oh,
starts as like a Wrangler, I think.
Ah, okay.
Apparently, this also allows you for EMP protection, electromagnetic pulse protection. It has a forward-facing infrared, or forward-looking infrared. Pardon.
Why does it have an infrared camera?
It has thermal and flare. It's some can even be spec'd as bulletproof. They are not all bulletproof, but some are spec'd as bulletproof, windows and body. So this is for the gazillionaire that wants a bug-out car.
This is the doomsday prepper.
If you're very wealthy.
Yeah.
If you're very wealthy. Because if you're not very wealthy, you're not buying this. Because you can be prepared to spend well over $175,000.
On top of a Wrangler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Starting at $175,000. They describe this as a tactical urban vehicle.
I mean, I'm sure they bring the Wrangler down to like near bare frame at this point. It's complete interior overhaul, exterior overhaul. $175,000.
You get a FLIR.
Yeah, you get a thermal camera.
You're protected from EMPs. I saw one in the flesh, and I immediately was like, oh, I've seen that online before. It is actually a thing.
Wow.
It's hideous. It is so ugly. I hate this so much.
I don't hate the looks of it. I don't love it.
Oh, I do hate it. I hate the looks of it. I think it is the ugliest thing I've seen in a long time.
It looks exactly like what I would expect some Doomsday Prepper Bro to build.
No, it doesn't. No, because I understand the Doomsday Prepper world. They don't build this.
No?
No. They build things that aren't $175,000 and just want to be hype. This is actually a pretty hypey thing online.
It's either the Doomsday Prep or just the social media bro that has to have.
It's the social media prepping wealthy person.
Yeah. I can see how they would like this. Yeah. That is kind of a silly use of $175,000.
Most people spend up to $300,000 though. Because they want bulletproof cup holders.
We're in the wrong business.
We are.
We need to be building custom, weird, janky stuff.
I think we should.
Just insert marketing term here. Yeah, say we do it. It doesn't matter. They're not actually going to check. Is it EMP proof? There's no way they check. It doesn't matter.
How can we test EMP proofing?
You got to get a lot of electricity and zap the crap out of it.
Let's zap the crap out of a Rezvani.
Take the Tesla, power whatever leads coming off of them and just start zapping that thing. I don't know.
Like in Star Wars.
Giant Tesla coil next to it? I don't know. I don't know how you would test that.
I want to test it.
I highly doubt they do. Yes.
So that was my spot of the week. The Rezvani Tank X.
What a thing.
Yeah.
What a social media thing.
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah. So, as you were out and about, I actually took one of yours.
Yeah.
You also saw this, which is a really old Saab.
A Saab.
Yeah.
It's like an 80s Saab 900 turbo.
So this Saab 900 turbo. Look at this. Is that not class?
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Oh, it kind of has... From this angle, has a little bit of the, the old 911 air-cooled kind of shape going on.
A little bit?
A little bit. I can see it. Especially with this wing coming off the back.
A little bit.
That just screams
that spoiler looks good.
Air-cooled 911. I could see you driving this.
You see me driving it?
And me. I can see both of us driving this. Yeah.
What a thing.
It's an old Saab 900. I don't know if you saw a turbo or not. They did have... Okay,
no,
so it was a turbo.
I could hear the turbo as well.
It was a 2-liter inline-4, making a whopping 143 horsepower at 5,000 RPM. 5,000 RPM in this thing would be singing.
Yeah, redline at like 5,500.
I'm sure. 173 pound-feet of torque, so more torque than horsepower. Okay.
Turbo.
It'd be a little punchy. Yeah, makes sense with the turbo.
Look at the gauges.
Oh, yeah, that's...
You don't get that in a modern car.
No. Not even close. That is pretty classy, I will say.
Look at the AC vents stacked one on top of each other.
The big leather wheel. I'm taking this thing. 5-speed manual. Ooh. With a 0 to 60 in 9 seconds.
Oh, go back. The ignition. Look at the ignition.
That is if that's where I think
it's in the center.
Straight in the center console. That is weird.
Is that behind? Go back.
It's got to be behind the gear shifter.
Yeah, it's definitely down.
Yeah, it's going to be behind it. That's a weird place for it.
Weird.
Yep. But yeah, 0 to 60, 9 seconds. Not great. But it does have a curb weight of 2,700 pounds and a top speed of 121.
Could you imagine fitting a giant turbocharger on this?
In going 121 miles an hour?
No, and going 160?
No. Heck no. No way. It's a Saab. 16
it would
valve.
Take off like a fighter jet.
Oh, sure. Sure it would. No, this thing would be slow as crap. But Man, does it have some class.
Look at the headlight washers.
I know.
It's got the wheels, those like big tri-spoke monoblock looking things.
You know how heavy those things got to be?
22 million pounds.
They're so heavy. They have to be. Because
what was the curb weight? 27. So those weigh 2,100 of the 2,700 pounds.
Yeah, probably.
What an incredible machine. When's the last time you saw a Saab 900 turbo?
I don't know if I ever have, to be honest. But this is one of the few cars that I could actually see us both driving.
Oh, for sure. Like I'd have one.
Legitimately driving.
If I had spare cars, I would take an old Saab 900 turbo.
And it's pretty rare.
It's very rare.
It is rare to have us both agree on that.
And it's such a weird, timeless looking design.
Yeah, it really is. It's the 911 thing, man. It's the air-cooled 911 shape.
Kind of, sort of.
Neat. All right, so let's jump into the I wish they would have to wrap this show up.
All right, so do you want to start?
I can start. So I wish that in the past couple episodes, I think 2 episodes ago, we chatted about how there's like the OPEC of EVs starting here soon, right? Or a branch off of a bunch of different car companies that want to collaborate on EV stuff. In the near future, I wish that we'd get a set of standardizations or APIs or whatever you want to call it, a standardization of EV interfaces, right? I know that we have NACS right now.
Okay.
We have CCS, and those are the ways to charge the car. But we need even more than that. We need a way to have the car understand these chargers are available over here. And with the maps dashboard and the navigation setup, they all need to work together. So the Tesla superchargers need to work on all GM cars, right? And it needs to actually work on their maps and show up correctly. But I fear that we're going down a path where this new conglomerate of EV companies that'll make a bunch of chargers, supposedly like 30 or 300,000 chargers, will not work well in Teslas and will not work well in Toyotas, but all the car companies that are in their little group, it will work well with.
Okay.
I hope we don't get the government getting in here and standardizing this, because I'm never a fan of that.
I hate that so much.
That's never good. But I do hope that we get some sort of collaboration between these groups or between these entities to make this all seamless, because it's going to be very messy for the consumer if they don't.
I see your point. It does make some sense.
Do you think there's a chance that they will?
No.
I fear you're probably right.
I think they all want all of the landscape to themselves.
I think you're right. But
and I think it's going to lead the government to coming in getting involved, which is what I 100% don't want to happen.
I totally agree. I think you're right.
Sad.
I hope that doesn't happen, but yeah. I wish we had standardization across the EV space. We don't yet. But we voluntary standardization. Make compromises.
Yes.
Between each other, please. So what do you got?
My I wish iRacing was available on console.
Oh, that's a hot take. Mm-hmm. If you said that in the iRacing community, you would have just stirred that pot real good.
I'm sure.
They would be losing their minds.
I'm sure.
I don't.
Well, here's why. Because I've got my wheel and pedals and I'm starting the PC build process.
Right.
But I still have an Xbox just sitting around at home that I never use. I just wish I could just log in and just play on Xbox.
Have you ever tried
for ease of use?
Have you ever tried playing Forza online or Gran Turismo online?
It's been a long time, but yes.
Or a console game online. The first thing that happens to you is you get murdered. You just get punted. Or somebody comes in there with mods or hacks or cheats and goes and lays down like a 1 second lap time.
Fair.
That's the problem. That's what iRacing doesn't have.
Got it.
Because it is so expensive and it's exclusive to PC.
Not that expensive? How expensive is it?
It's like monthly subscription.
Of what, like $10?
Yeah, it's not terrible. But because the barrier to entry is much harder, much higher, much bigger, it is good racing. I will say it is rare. And when you do get punted, you get a, hey, sorry, man, I messed that up.
I see your point.
So the quality of racing, super, super high. The barrier to entry, super, super high. But if you put it on console, it becomes a mess.
I see your point. But for me personally, right now, I just want to play it and I don't have anything to play it with yet.
You can play Forza and Gran Turismo. As long as you have a console.
Yes, but no.
Okay, you can't have the best of both worlds. If you want good quality racing, you gotta have a high barrier to entry.
I know. I'm just being.
And I do think that limits iRacing, right? That limits their customer base a ton.
But it's going after their own proper niche market.
Yes.
They know their target market.
They want to be a hardcore sim racing community.
As realistic as possible.
Most people don't want that.
Correct.
And that's just like a customer. They're not going to have everyone. Now, you just said that. You want it on console. I think that it was Dale Earnhardt Jr. was tweeting recently and said, it's coming soon.
What is?
iRacing on console.
No way.
It's not that far away. They're working on it.
Really?
Yes. I don't know if it will be an offshoot of like a whole different user base or how they're going to do it from the user perspective. I suspect that they won't intermingle with the PC guys because they're quite complainy and bitchy and moany and pain in the butt. But we'll see. And I know it is being worked on actively.
Interesting.
And I wouldn't doubt within the next year if it happened.
Weird.
Yeah.
So that's my wish would have. Do you have anything else?
I do not.
Then that's going to wrap us up. Thanks so much for watching episode 250. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a thumbs up on the video and drop a comment. Let us know. What do you think about the whole carbon black charging, battery storage, energy storage in your concrete thing? Let's see what you think about that. And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.